Like I said, this wasn't intended to do your entire vehicle. All right, just where you would touch. That actually worked. I'm impressed. You want to try it? Okay. But once this stuff was gone, you were done. Just don't squirt the sun. Squirt somewhere else. Go ahead. Okay. So it worked just like a big squirt gun. Okay. This was the other primary thing that every tanker had on them at all times was flashlight. This is how you would direct your tank at night. Okay, if you had the ground guide. Okay. Everybody always had a flashlight.
They still use those same kind of flashlights?
Oh yeah. Yeah, same thing. I mean, there's a lot of guys buy, non-military issue flashlights now, but I'm telling you, for ground guiding, this is the way to go, okay? Because when you signal, like if you want the tank to move forward, this is forward, okay? You need the tank to turn to its left, you do this, okay? You want it to turn to its right, you do this. If you want it to stop, you shut the light off. The driver knows if the light disappears, the tank stops immediately. Okay? If you want it to back up, you give them one of these. Okay? But just basic hand and arm signals for the light is how you get the tank to move in the dark, when you're trying to ground. Like it is right now, the driver would stick this up through the hatch, and this is what he'd use to drive at night. This is a passive sight. This is not a thermal sight. This works off of the existing moonlight. Okay? But the nice thing, these were great to drive with because you just sat there and you looked into the screen. It was like a big video game, early video game. But everything was green, just like you think it would be. But it'd be green, and it was a really nice viewer to drive with. The only disadvantage to this is you can't tell depth. Okay, so if you have a driver that thinks he's all hot and he's flying down the road, he's not going to be able to tell where the ditches are. And there was a lot of times where we ate metal because we had a driver not pay attention to what he's doing. The M60A3 was the last tank built with an escape hatch. The M1s and newer, they do not have escape hatches in the bottom. And where the escape hatch is located is up here, right underneath the driver's seat. Okay? Those of you who feel like it, you don't have to, but right here. Right here is the escape hatch, okay? You really have to get down here to see it, okay? But by looking at this escape hatch, I can tell that this tank is not a new manufacture, one built from scratch, all right? This escape hatch, there are two types of escape hatches. There's a round one, and there's a, like an oval one, more like a rectangle, okay? Which was much bigger. These round ones were on the original M60 series tanks, okay? The bigger square ones didn't come out to the A3 series. Right, exactly, okay? If you mount from back there and nobody knows you're mounting the tank, I mean, the tank commander could give a command to move out or move the turn or whatever, you could get injured. So as long as you were mounting from the front, people would know you were mounting the vehicle, okay? The only time you were authorized to mount the back is when the tank was on the firing line, because you knew the tank wasn't moving. And you don't want to mount the tank from the front, from the firing line, because where are you walking into when you mount the tank? Right in front of the machine gun, right? Yeah. So you don't want to mount the front. On the firing line, you mount from the rear. Normally, every other time you mount the seat. Where I'm standing right now, you step on the seat and go right down in. Well, the seat's not here, so that's the way. All right, hand me the radios. Because everybody has to work as one for the tank to work right, okay? Everybody has to be in sync with each other also, okay? Now, the basic fire commands, all right? When you're in the tank and you come across a target, all right? Let's say your mission is you're going up against a Soviet tank company, all right? So the majority of your targets are going to be what?
Tanks.
Tanks. Okay. So as a tank commander, hopefully I'm smart enough to say battle load Sabo. Okay. Alright, so some basic things. Everybody has to work in unison, okay? Everybody has to know their job, and you can actually get rounds, off in three and a half seconds and get hits every time, okay? But the loader will stand over there, okay? Last place you want to be is behind the gun, okay? The gunner is exactly where you're at, but you normally face that way, of course, okay? And the tank commander's right here, okay? There are a lot of things missing out of this tank. Like, there's what they call catalytic controls, okay, that go twist like this, and you can turn the turn, okay, raise and lower the gun. That's missing. That goes right there, okay? Your ballistic computer is to your right, okay? This big box right here is your ballistic computer, okay? This is where you do all your checks from. You do your set all your settings there, your air temperature, all that stuff gets set right here. And here's where you zero each round individually. You'll see a whole bunch of knobs like this inside this box. This area here, there's a big sight that comes down here for the 50 cal. That's why I say you can't work on the 50 cal inside the tank, because with that sight there and everything, you just can't do it. To take the 50 cal out, though, you have to elevate it up the whole way, and it slides down like this. Okay. All your ammunition goes in these drawers here. Okay. This one opens first. No, I lied. This one opens first. Hopefully there's nothing living in it. Oh, I can't get that. Now it's shut. But anyways, your ammo lays inside here to feed into the 50. Very difficult to load. Very difficult. That's why I actually brought ammo along to try to show people how to load this, because it's that challenging. Your radio equipment is just like how I have it sitting in here. If you don't have two antennas, you wouldn't have this radio here. You'd only have this one radio here. But if you have two antennas, then you have both these radios mounted in here. This is just storage area inside for some of your personal gear. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this is the power for your cupola. And then this is your stabilization controls. Okay, to turn them on.